Welcome to the Venus frequency, a Venus butterfly transmission. I'm so glad you're here. In this frequency, we choose clarity over confusion, presence over performance, and alignment over effort. We listen, we soften, we shift the frequency.
Feel it soft as a spell. I move, I breathe. Butterfly energy. I don't chase, I receive. The Venus frequency.
Metamorphs, vibe with me on this because I have three very important questions for you as we enter the second transmission of what Venus taught us. And listen, this one might step on your toes a little bit, but you already know I'm gonna love you through this thing though, right? Now, don't you? Question 1. Have you ever said you know your worth, but still found yourself accepting behavior that made it seem otherwise? Now, I'm going to step on your pinky toe just a little here with this one because question 2 is, have you ever been waiting for someone else to prove your value instead of letting your own choices show that you are serious about that thing? And finally, question 3. Are you ready for your worth to stop being something you only talk about because you are finally ready for your worth to be something you are choosing to be about? If you answered yes, party people, then you just might be ready for the frequency of worth must become my behavior. Because metamorphs, this is where the work gets real. Not louder, not harsher, not performative, but real. Because it's one thing to say, I know my worth, and it's another thing to make choices that actually agree with your knowing. So metamorphs, let me take my foot off your toes and talk to you for a sec. Because worth is not just a statement, a caption, or something we post when we are trying to convince ourselves that we are finally done accepting less than what we deserve. Worth is a behavior, a pattern, and a practice. Worth is a choice you practice. It is not a feeling you wait for. Because, baby, a lot of us have said, I know my worth, and then turned right around and answered that text, knowing dang on well that doing so was about to disturb our peace. We said, I know my worth, and then explained ourselves to someone who was committed to misunderstanding us. We also said, I know my worth, and then kept giving access to someone who never proved they actually valued us in the first place. And baby, we have all said, I know my worth, and then convinced ourselves that inconsistent behavior it's complicated because we did not want to call it he or she, that he or she was just not that into me, I should say. And this is not being called out to make us feel ashamed, people. What this is much needed information. Because sometimes worth is not missing. I'll say it again. Sometimes worth is not missing. Sometimes worth is just under practice. Sometimes our mind knows the truth before our body feels safe enough to follow it. And sometimes the spirit has already received the lesson, but our nervous system is still learning how to stop reaching for that thing that feels familiar. So Venus is not coming in saying, girl, you should have known better. Nope. Instead, Veen, she comes in real smooth and she says, okay, no baby, show up for yourself like you believe you know your worth. Because Venus, when Venus was in Taurus, what she taught us was that worth cannot stay theoretical. It has to become visible in the body, in the bank, in the boundary, and in the bond. Worth becomes visible in how you rest, how you spend, how you speak, how you choose, how you date, how you leave, how you receive, and in how you stop negotiating with what keeps hurting you. So my loves, listen to me, because this is where a lot of us get uncomfortable. Because in knowing your worth, you can still find yourself in fantasy land. But when you embody your worth, something within you demands that you make a decision, and promptly, okay? And knowing your worth, you can still find yourself over-explaining. But when you embody worth, boundaries and standards become non-negotiable. And knowing your worth, you can still find yourself dallying about, waiting to be met with consistency. But embodying your worth, it asks, what has this person actually shown me? And in knowing your worth, you can still find yourself entertaining potential. But when you embody worth, you get real honest with yourself. And you might ask, is this actually aligned with the life I am building? And baby, this is where the metamorphosis happens. Because the butterfly cannot keep crawling just because flying might cost her the ground. At some point, the old pattern has to lose access. At some point, the version of you that survived on almost has to be retired. At some point, the standard has to become more than just a thought, more than just a speech, and more than just, let's see. Because it has to become, our worth has to become the way we move. Worth must be expressed through our behavior, not because we need to prove anything, but because our life deserves evidence that we are on our own side. So your body deserves evidence. Your nervous system deserves evidence. Your future deserves evidence. And baby, that softness deserves evidence. And you already know this. Our peace deserves evidence. And sometimes that evidence is quite simple. It is not responding immediately. It is pausing before you agree. It is checking your body before you say yes. It is not shrinking your needs to make someone else feel comfortable. It is leaving that message unanswered when the message does not honor the woman you are becoming. It is not spending from the wound that wants to feel chosen. It is not overgiving to someone so that they will finally see your value. And it is not auditioning for love that has already shown you that it does not have the capacity to hold you. Because when worth becomes behavior, you stop making your life available to anything that contradicts the healing that you've done and contradicts your knowing. And please hear me clearly. This does not mean that you become perfect. And this does not mean you never get triggered. This does not mean you never miss somebody. And this definitely does not mean that you stop wanting love, attention, affection, romance, tenderness, or touch. Hey. No, my loves. It means you stop betraying yourself to receive it. It means you stop confusing crumbs with care. It means you stop calling access intimacy. It means you stop letting desire override discernment. It means you stop making your softness pay the price for somebody else's lack of capacity. Because worth is not proven by how much pain you can endure. Love is not proven by how much of yourself you can survive losing. Because, honey, we are not doing that in this season. Not in the body, not in the bank, not in the boundary, and definitely not in the bond. Tell us why we won't be doing that, Venus. Oh, I most certainly will. Because embodied value says, my worth is not an idea I only visit when I am hurt. Let me say that again, because I was stumbling about. My worth is not an idea I only visit when I am hurt. My worth is a home I practice living in by the standards I live by. I said what I said. So here are today's B.Fly metamorphosisms. Let them meet you where they need to meet you. I do not just know my worth. I live like I believe it. My standards are not a speech, they are my behavior. I am no longer negotiating with what keeps disturbing my peace. I pause before I abandon myself. I check my body before I betray my knowing. I do not shrink my needs to make the wrong fit feel comfortable. I do not confuse almost with alignment. I do not confuse access with intimacy. I do not confuse desire with devotion. My softness deserves evidence. My peace deserves protection. My future deserves the woman I am becoming. I am not proving my worth. I am practicing it. I trust myself, I choose myself, and I move like I believe myself. And so it is. This metamorphosis was inspired by the frequency of my worth must become my behavior. I hope this frequency found you not in self judgment, but in self honesty, not in shame, but in responsibility, not in pressure to be perfect, but in the invitation to practice. Because worth is not something you perform once, worth is something you return to, it's something you choose from, and it's something you live through. So today's tarot highlight is the Queen of Pentacles. And we are not entering the Queen of Pentacles as a card to explain. We are entering her as an archetype to embody. The Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles is grounded self-value. She knows that care needs structure. She knows that softness needs safety. She knows that beauty, stability, nourishment, and resources are sacred. She does not just say she values herself. Her life shows it. Her home shows it. Her body shows it. Her boundaries show it. And her choices show it. So today, that queen, the Queen of Pentacles, let me get it out right this time, the Queen of Pentacles, she asks, what or where does your behavior need to agree with your worth? Where are you still calling something aligned because you are afraid to admit it is just familiar? And what one choice can you make today that gives your body evidence that you are on your own side? Breathe that in and let it settle where it needs to. Now, people, if you want to go much deeper into this work, I'll invite you to listen to Arcana, the 22 Initiations. It's available on most streaming platforms. And if you are feeling this frequency, follow me, Venus B.Fly, or the Venus Butterfly Collective on your favorite social platform for more transmissions, rituals, and metamorphosisms. And people, while you're there, please, please, please share, like, follow, and subscribe to stay tuned into the frequency. And next time, we will enter the third transmission of what Venus taught us. The body keeps the standard because your body has been telling the truth even when your heart needed more time to accept it. So, all right, Metamorphs, thank you for listening. I see you, I feel you, and I sure do appreciate you. Let what resonated stay with you. You don't need to hold on to the rest. Stay present, stay aligned, stay grounded, and I'll meet you right back here in the frequency.
almost reach the sea. Me. Soft as a spell, I blew, I breathe. Butterfly energy, I don't chase, I receive.